guys, welcome back to my channel. Mermaid Nina here. Well, tonight we are going to do another park itinerary video. So if you guys know what I'm talking about, let's get to it. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I have done this before for Magic Kingdom and Epcot, and tonight's video is about Animal Kingdom. Can you tell? I got Animal Kingdom ears on. So basically what I do is I'm going to take you through the map, and I'm going to give you a step-by-step, ride-by-ride guideline or game plan for you to attempt to do while in the theme parks. I get a lot of you who ask me for a step-by-step, minute-by-minute itinerary. And it is my personal belief that itineraries don't really work because there's just so many variables at play and so many different people and where you're coming from, and if you have kids and don't have kids, and so many different interests that they aren't really a one-size-fit-all situation. So what I've been doing is I have been making itineraries or game plan videos, walking you guys through the map, through the park, and telling you exactly what my family does at each park. You guys seem to love these videos, so here we are doing it again. And I'm gonna note that I have just put out my family actually at Animal Kingdom. So if you watch both of the videos together, side by side, they should be able to kind of help you kind of secure it all in, because not only are you hearing about what our game plan is, you can actually see it in real life, in real time, how it's laid out. Sound good? Let's get into it. So like I said, tonight will be Animal Kingdom. Now first, I want to talk a little bit about Animal Kingdom. So first, Animal Kingdom is laid out a lot like Magic Kingdom. You know how Magic Kingdom in the center of their park is the castle? Animal Kingdom is the same way. The center of their park is the giant tree, right? The tree of life. By the way, I want to make an extra note. If you have some extra time, go into that area and explore the tree of life. It is gorgeous. So much attention to detail and artistry within that tree. It's amazing. But of course, I don't have that in my itinerary. That's just something to do if you have a little extra time, or maybe you're visiting the park more than once. Make sure you check out the tree. But going back to what I was talking about, the tree is the hub, right? It is the center of the park. And then they have these kind of like outshoots from the hub of 6 different areas. Well, actually it's 5 different areas because the tree itself is in its own area. There are 5 different areas coming out from the tree that you can then explore. So a lot like Magic Kingdom's itinerary, I do kind of sort of take you in a circle, as opposed to Epcot's, which was a figure 8, and that park's just a hot mess when it comes to these itineraries. But this is really kind of what I'm focusing on, is I take you to what our favorite areas are, and I keep trying to kind of follow the map in like a semicircular kind of pattern so that we can complete the entire map. So just kind of know that going into this video. Also, I get a lot of people who say, well, Animal Kingdom is just a zoo. I want to throw it out there right now. It is my personal belief that Animal Kingdom is not just a zoo. I have been to many zoos in my life, and Animal Kingdom, although they do have animal areas, it is not a zoo. That is not their main focus. There are so many shows and rides and yummy, yummy foods about Animal Kingdom that it is not just animals. However, if you have little kitties and animals are right up your alley, then yes, 100% Animal Kingdom does have a lot of animals, but that is not going to actually be the focus of this itinerary. Obviously, in between rides and in between passes, if you want to go explore some of the animal areas, go right ahead. But this itinerary is built around the rides, right? Using Genie Plus. And to make another note, when I talk about passing something, I had this comment in a previous video. When I talk about you need to then pass something, I'm talking about Genie Plus pass something to constantly say Genie Plus Pass is a mouthful. So when I say yes, you are going to go ahead and then pass this or pass that, I am specifically talking about making a Genie Plus Pass, which yes, you do on your phone. If you don't know what Genie Plus is, please check out my Genie Plus video. But I know, guys, you are like, okay, Nina, let's get into it. Here we go. So Animal Kingdom, right now, the only thing you can individual lightning lane, that is pay an additional price for, is Flights of Passage. Avatar Flights of Passage over in the Pandora area. So for me, Flights of Passage comes down to two real options, right? You can either rope drop it, which is great for those of you staying on property at a Disney resort, or you can just simply pay for it. Flights of Passage can easily, quickly get from a 95-minute line to more than that. So is it worth it to you to pay $12 to $15 per person and just pass it and be done with it? Or is it better for you to wake up super duper early and rope drop it? But these are essentially your options when it comes to that particular ride in general. My family, we do enjoy Flights of Passage, but it's not really like our key ride. If it's your key ride, then you might adjust our itinerary just a little bit. But here we go. So it's 7 a.m. and it's your Animal Kingdom Park day. What do you do, right? So for us anyway, we are gonna go ahead and Genie Plus Pass Kilimanjaro Safaris. But we are gonna scroll and keep refreshing the phone, right? Because we want a slightly later pass. We want a like 11 o'clock-ish pass, or a super duper kind of late in the evening pass, like a 4 or 5 o'clock pass. But we prefer kind of the just before lunch time zone pass. So I will keep scrolling and scrolling, hoping to get that time zone. I will also then purchase Avatar Flights of Passage. It's roughly about $12 to $15 per person. And I want to pass that to be slightly after lunch. So if I'm gonna go with my itinerary, right? I wanna do Kilimanjaro's, I'm gonna eat lunch, and then I wanna do Flights of Passage. So I'm thinking more like 1 or 2 o'clock for Flights of Passage. That will be my game plan, 7 a.m. Then it's time to get to the park, right? Because I'm staying on Disney property, I'm gonna rope drop. So I'm gonna get there a half an hour before park opening, and you could either go to Kilimanjaro Safaris, which is what we do, or you could technically go rope drop Flights of Passage. Again, this is where the plan might change a little bit for you depending on your interests and your goals. For my family, we are 100% gonna rope drop Kilimanjaro Safaris. And yes, you heard me correctly. Not only am I Genie Plus passing Kilimanjaro Safaris, but I am also rope dropping Kilimanjaro Safaris. That's right, my family likes to ride that ride twice, if not 3 times in a single day. The experience can be different each and every time you ride it. We love it so much that we have no problem doing it over and over again on the same day. You with me? All right, so you're in the park and you just rope dropped either Kilimanjaro Safaris or Flights of Passage. Again, for us, we did the safari, we rope dropped it, so we did not use a pass. Right after Kilimanjaro Safaris, and again, I'm gonna be popping up maps all over the place. Right next door to it is something called Rafiki's Planet Watch. Now, if you aren't interested in these things, you can 100% skip it. Perhaps you have, rope dropped Flights of Passage, and then now you're gonna go to Kilimanjaro Safaris. For us, we went to Kilimanjaro Safaris first. We are now gonna do Rafiki's Planet Watch. So we are gonna get on the Wildlife Express train, that is right, an actual choo-choo train. We're gonna take that over to the conservation station where they do have a petting zoo area. They have lots of Wilderness Explorer badges. I do have a separate video on that, but for us, we're gonna go inside the main building and we are gonna hope that they are doing some form of animal checkup. This is my kids' favorite thing to do at Animal Kingdom. We have seen turtles and ducks and anteaters, and I forget what else kind of crazy animal that they have over there in this medical exam room where they have these windows that you can see through, and you can actually watch them working on these animals. Oh, I think we saw a hog once. He was getting his hooves cleaned. But anything from a dental checkup to a hoof cleaning checkup to just kind of a general checkup, we've actually seen surgeries performed in this area. So yeah, this is my kids' favorite area. It usually happens around 10 a.m., which is why we purposely do Kilimanjaro safaris first. And then hopefully we've made it over to Rafiki's Planet Watch by 10 a.m. to hopefully catch some form of checkup. Of course, while we're in that area, time, depending, we might also do the animation experience and draw, one of Disney's beloved animal characters taught by a Disney animator. So that's pretty sweet. We absolutely love that area. Once we are done with that area, again, time depending, could either be time for our Kilimanjaro pass, or it could be time for lunch. Again, all depends on what time you got. So we're gonna assume it's time to do Kilimanjaros first. So we are gonna go ahead and use our Genie Plus Pass number 1. First time using it in the day, we're gonna ride Kilimanjaro safaris. While we are in line for that ride, after we have already Magic Band scanned in 2 times, we're gonna pass the next ride. For us, the next ride to pass will be Navi River Journey over there in the Pandora area. So after we ride Kilimanjaro safaris, and while we're waiting for Navi River Journey's pass to start, we're gonna have lunch. This is also a great time for you guys with kiddies to perhaps get lunch at Tusker House, which is one of the character meals over there in Animal Kingdom. So we could either go to Tusker House or we could go ahead and eat over at Harambe Market, which is right next to Kilimanjaro Safaris and Rafiki's Planet Watch. I do this purposely so we're not like human ping pong balls going all around the park. I kind of go with the flow of the map. So hopefully this makes sense. So we've done the safari twice. We've done Rafiki's Planet Watch. We've had lunch. Now we're waiting for our Navi River Journey pass, which is over there in the Pandora area. So we're gonna head over to the Pandora area and we are gonna ride Navi River Journey. And also it should be about time for our flights of passage. That's right. While we're in the Pandora area, we're gonna go ahead and knock out both of our passes, our flights of passage, which we paid for, and our Navi River Journey. So of course, while we're on Navi River Journey, right, we've scanned in with our Magic Band 2 times usually. We can then pass, right, Genie Plus pass another ride. For my family, it's gonna be Dinosaur. Dinosaur is a kind of a little bit more rough and tumble like of a ride. You are kind of in this Jeep-like vehicle that does a lot of, I don't even know, jerking around, where you're in the dark and there are dinosaurs kind of coming at you, right? There's a whole theme to it. Not necessarily for the little kiddos, of course, depending on what they're interested in, but my kids absolutely love Dinosaur. So for us, we will pass Dinosaur. For other people, you might want to pass Expedition Everest. Again, for those of you with older kids who love coasters, Expedition Everest might be what you're passing. So again, once we've, scanned into Navi River Journey, we're going to pass again, making it our 3rd Genie Plus Pass ride. We are going to do Dinosaur. On our way to Dinosaur, there are so many things we could be doing. We could do more Wilderness Explorers, earn some more badges. We could play carnival games over at Dino Land USA. We could ride the Triceratop Spin. It's kind of like Dumbo, but it's with dinosaurs. We could, even catch a showing of kite tails, all again, time permitting. I would not wait around for kite tails, but if it happens to be going on when we're walking by, because again, flow with the path of the map, we will 100% sit down and catch kite tails. On our way, we just might bump into Kevin, right, from Up, so absolutely have to meet Kevin. And as we're crossing over past the Tree of Life, they may be doing winged encounters, which is my absolute favorite show over at Animal Kingdom. They basically allow all of their macaws and their parrots to just kind of freely fly from where they kind of house them, where their kind of area is. I think they said the full circle's like a mile away or something. Anyway, they do these signs, whatever they do, and the parrots come flying at you from wherever they're kept. And they just fly around and they land right there, right in front of you next to the Tree of Life. It is absolutely breathtaking. And then all of a sudden she'll just like send them free and then they fly back. What's great about this, if you've watched the Animal Kingdom show over on Disney Plus, is these birds can do whatever the heck they want. They are not in captivity at all. They have an open kind of housing area where they can come and go and live there or not live there. They do give them treats to kind of help them stay in that area so they can get great, medical care and food and all that stuff. And they do train them with treats to do this show. And it's absolutely, of course, according to the birds. If they choose to do it, great. If they don't choose to do it, whatever. But it's breathtaking. It really is. Just all these birds just coming out of the sky and they just land right there in front of you. Anyway, I could go on about winged encounters forever, but absolutely love that show. They do have show times, but usually about this time as we're walking in front of the Tree of Life, we could be catching these things while we're waiting for our dinosaur pass, right? Hopefully you guys are with me. All right, so now it's time to ride Dinosaur. So after we've scanned into our dinosaur, right? Usually about 2 times you scan in, you get to pass another ride. For us, it'll be Cali River Rapids. For you, maybe you still haven't done Expedition Everest. Maybe you will be passing Expedition Everest. The nice thing is that Cali River Rapids and Expedition Everest are kind of in the same area. So whatever one you choose to pass, you're kind of going on the same, path, following the same path of the map. So Cali River Rapids is a water ride, right? You could most likely get wet. Some of you will get more wet than others, but it's essentially a giant kind of inner tube ride that goes down. It gets bumpy, it runs into stuff, things are spraying at you. Absolutely a delight. Great for those hot Florida days. So yeah, we will go ahead and pass Cali River Rapids. And of course, while we're waiting for Cali River Rapids for our pass to start, we will do all sorts of things. We will do more wilderness explorers. We might check out the animal areas and go do the jungle trek area and all those sorts of good things. My personal favorite is to go watch the gibbons. They are monkeys over there near the entrance to Cali River Rapids. I could stand there and watch those monkeys all day long. They are so silly and I love watching them jump from like rope to rope. It's just great. Absolutely love watching the monkeys. So now assuming it's time to pass your, to go into your Cali River Rapids, this is when you can again try to pass Expedition Everest or pass something else. For my family, we will usually, most likely, depending on the time, go ahead and pass the Festival of the Lion King. That is the Lion King show over there by Tusker House. So again, kind of going back to where we started, going full circle. Like I said, you could then pass Expedition Everest if you haven't done it yet, or maybe pass Dinosaur if you never got to do that. So you're just kind of passing what's left. Again, for us, it will be the Lion King show. While waiting for the Lion King show, again, we're walking back to that general area. It's probably time to have a snack. We could do more wilderness explorers, earn more badges, check out more animals, grab a Dole Whip. That's right. Animal Kingdom also sells Dole Whip while we're making our way to the Lion King show. So after the Lion King show, or again, once we've scanned in, we might be able to pass yet another experience, which could be It's Tough to Be a Bug, although it's not quite my favorite. For us, usually it's after the Lion King show, it's roughly about dinner time, or it's time to discuss dinner time. So for my family, we will usually discuss, okay, should we stay or should we go back to the hotel? Should we hop? What should we do? So for us, we usually will go ahead and either eat at Harambe Market, assuming maybe we did Tusker House earlier in the day. We might walk over to Flame Tree barbecue. That is if we're staying in the park, at least to eat. For those of you, you might want to do other things. But this is when it's kind of like, all right, well, what's left? What passes are left? What haven't we done yet? What do we still want to see? Maybe we want to go check out the Tree of Life. This is kind of at the point where what's left? What haven't you done? What do you still need to do? And you can decide, right? Oftentimes we will just leave. We will go somewhere else. We'll go back to the room, maybe go swim in the pool, whatever. Some people might stay in the park. Again, up to you. But I get a lot of people will say, okay, Nina, so you've decided to leave. That's great. But what are you willing to skip? Like, what are the things on the map that you don't have to see? For my family, we can absolutely skip It's Tough to Be a Bug. I've done that show a few times. It's just not my thing. It's not necessarily the best for little kitties either, that kind of scare a little easy. It's a silly bug show based on it's a bug's life. It's just not my favorite. So we can easily skip It's Tough to Be a Bug. And my family doesn't have to see all the animals. We actually prefer just to see them on Kilimanjaro safaris. In fact, that's often what we will do. If we've stayed in the park and we've had dinner, we will often get on the app and we'll see how long Kilimanjaro safaris is. And if it's like in the 35-40 minute zone, we will actually ride it again. That's right, 3 times in one day. We absolutely love that ride. And we will just ride it over and over again. But yes, if I was to skip something, it usually is Tough to Be a Bug and some of the animal areas. I don't feel the need to walk around and do all the animal explorations. You with little ones, you might feel the need to do that. So it's completely up to you guys. So another thing I want to note about Animal Kingdom is right now, if you look on the app and you go, you look under characters, there's not that many characters at Animal Kingdom right now. There's Kevin from Up, who I love Kevin. They were showing Gypsy from It's a Bug's Life, but she's not guaranteed. Pre-COVID, they did have Russell and Carl over there and Doug. But again, it's not guaranteed. Hopefully more and more of these characters are coming back, but Animal Kingdom isn't huge on the meet and greet characters at this time. However, they do have something called a flotilla. That's right, you heard me right. They're characters on these giant floaty things, right, that go through the waterways. So as you're walking around Animal Kingdom and you're next to water, pay attention, listen to some music, look in the water. I've seen Santa Claus, Mickey and Minnie, Donald Duck, Launchpad, all sorts of characters coming through the waterway. So depending on the time of year and all those good things, just kind of look out through the water because you might see a flotilla going by. And of course, in the evening, the Tree of Life does do its beacon of magic and it kind of sparkles and glows and lights up and it's beautiful. It really is beautiful. It's just not necessarily something I'm keeping little kids up for, if that makes sense. If we happen to be in the park and it happens, absolutely, I'm going to stand and watch it. It's gorgeous. But if my kids are like hungry or it's time to go swimming, we will absolutely leave the park at that time. Also, once, the park stays open late enough, Pandora changes color. So yeah, the luminescence that is built in the ground of Pandora lights up, and that is also breathtakingly beautiful. But again, these are two things that happen in the evening that require it to be dark. There are no fireworks shows over at Animal Kingdom because it's just not safe for the animals. The animals don't need to be listening to those intense boom boom pop sounds for their fragile little animal ears. But that's pretty much what's going on at Animal Kingdom. So if you've counted all the passes, it looks like in my itinerary, we've done about 9 or so rides, which is pretty good. Again, Kilimanjaro's a few times, but we've used the Genie Plus Pass 5 or 6 times. So that comes to my question, right? Nina, is it worth it to use Genie Plus at Animal Kingdom? So if you've seen the Animal Kingdom video of my family actually in the park, we did have a few struggles. And we didn't ride exactly as many things as on my itinerary. Yes, it was still 100% worth it to have Genie Plus. Why? Because it is my personal belief that it's not how many rides you do. It's not, did I do 2 rides, 4 rides, 5 rides? It's how much time did I save by not having to wait in line. So in that video, we saved like 95 minutes from not having to do, I think it was Kilimanjaro safaris. We saved 85 minutes by not having to wait in line for Navi River Journey. We saved like 65, 35, I forget the number of minutes to not having to wait in line for Dinosaur. That was that particular day. If you do flights of passage, that could easily get to a couple of hours or more of a line. Is it worth it to not have to wait in line? For my family, yes. For people who go all the time, maybe not so much. For people with older kids, maybe not so much. But for people with littles, for people who this is their once in a lifetime vacation or their once a year vacation, it could absolutely be worth it to you because of your time saved. This itinerary is built on using Genie Plus. Can you absolutely ride all the same rides without Genie Plus? Yes, yes, you can. But you might not get as much done because Navi River Journey, you could be waiting a good 65 minutes to ride that ride, as I passed it and moved on already. Kilimanjaro safaris can easily get to 95 to 120 minutes. I rode it 2 or 3 times by mixing in rope drop and Genie Plusing it to save time. So yeah, it's just a personal preference and a personal opinion for me. It's not about the number of rides. It's about how much time I saved and not having to deal with whiny kids or whiny adults because we're just standing there in line after line after line. So yeah. Anyway, guys, I hope this video helped you out. You guys have told me you love these itinerary videos, so hopefully you enjoyed the Animal Kingdom one as well. Again, there's a lot of flexibilities with these itineraries. This is what my family tends to do, and that's why I say if you're interested in this ride or this ride, this is a good time to do it. So this is a basic itinerary or game plan for my family that you can alter and adjust and change to fit your needs. More animals for you, maybe more coasters for you. It's all up to you guys, but hopefully this helped you out. And again, by watching this video, plus my family actually at Animal Kingdom will give you a good sense of what it's really like and how even though you can come in with this awesome game plan, doesn't mean it's always gonna happen. Doesn't mean everything is gonna happen ride by ride like you planned out, which is again why I don't like itineraries, which is why I call this a game plan. You do wanna go into it with a mental game plan or even written down, whatever you prefer, so that you know when you get in, you're gonna go turn left. You're gonna go right, you're gonna go straight. You want a game plan of what rides you are trying to hit. You want to have like a top 5 list. What are the top 5 things you want to experience today in the park? Once you've done those 5 things, then everything else is kind of just icing on the cake, right? So these are just kind of my suggestions to help you guys out. The parks are busy and they're getting hot, right? It's hot season right now, and you can only really push those kitties so much for so long. So that's why my family likes to mix in the little kind of relaxation things in between, right? Rafiki's Planet Watch, you could totally skip it, but my family loves it. My kids love to just sit and kind of chill on this choo-choo train. They love to sit and watch these medical checkups. If that's not for you, then skip that area. My family likes to kind of relax on Kilimanjaro safaris. We love watching the Festival of the Lion King show. So that way, we're walking around in the heat and we're trying to get here and we're trying to get there. It's nice to have these experiences where we're kind of sitting in air conditioning and being a little bit more relaxed. So we're kind of mixing and matching those things put together. So it's not just like an all out tiring park day, right? Hopefully this makes sense to you guys, but yes, Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Next up, the last one will be Hollywood Studios. And then I have a few little ideas up my sleeve for Magic Kingdom for doing different renditions of my Magic Kingdom itinerary to help you guys out who have different interests than say my family. So yes, more itinerary game plan videos coming soon. So yeah. If you haven't already, guys, please subscribe to my channel. If the subscribe button is red, please click it, turn it gray, hit the bell icon for notifications, like this video, of course, and let me know in the comments. You still liking these videos? You want me to continue? Is there something I'm not putting in these videos that you really want me to add? I'm trying to include the rides, places that we like to eat, any sort of nighttime shows or character meet and greets. So hopefully this all really helps you guys out. But if there's something I'm missing, let me know and I'll try to put it in the next video. But yeah, as always, guys, mahalo for watching. Nina out. Bye.